was a joke. It started off as a joke. I'm just funny. Put it on my Steam wish list, and then somebody bought it for me. So I'm saying it was meant to be a joke.
Once upon a time, there was a fearsome witch. So terrifying was she that even devils would tremble in her presence.
This one?
However, one day you appeared before her, and if by magic she fell in love.
Hi. Haven't seen you around before. Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory.
The two of you have finally gotten engaged, and although she's trying to prepare the best wedding ever, will she be able to make it through the wedding preparations and share a beautiful first night with you?
I know what happens on that first night. You see, dear, it's funny because that's his spot.
What's the difference?
Hello? And just look at that. Here we are, folks. Wedding Witch. Ooh, good game. Don't mind if I do. I can explain. All right, let's see what we've got here, Belle. Okay, which of the big breasts? Is that not just her normally? You can't tell me those are small. Oh, no, forgive me. There's an option for that, apparently, which must mean these are perfectly normal, then. Yeah, sure. And I like iCarly for the Wii, just a normal amount. What's her name again? Miranda Sings or something? Hang on, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. I know I saw an extras menu on the main screen. What's that all about? We'll never know. Well, nothing left to do except start the main game. 3 difficulty options! That's 3 times as many as Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Even Sonic Forces had a difficulty option, guys. I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's a problem. Oi, get up already. How long do you intend to stay in bed?
As long as it takes for me to find a reason to get up Harry Potter and Hedwig fused together.
Just leave me alone, because I'm not budging until the wedding ceremony. I'm not even gonna eat anything. The dress won't fit if I gain weight. Okay, I'm up. To put it more simply and get things going a little more swiftly, Wedding Witch Belle here is wanting to make sure the wedding, night goes super duper and thusly wants to find and steal a couple of succubus potions to make herself more attractive. Girl, have you looked at a mirror lately? Like, look at that gorgeous purple hair, those precious eyes, the high quality hat, and accessorizing too? That's a wonderfully whimsical bouquet there. Oh. Right, and your giant melons.
Peter, I'm holding melons.
So, Belle the Wedding Witch, Harry the Hedwig, and their best friend, Mr. Soderbergh, head on into the forest to find the succubus potions to make the best Twitch live stream ever. Y'all know Vampire Survivors, right? The game that went viral back in 2022 for like 5 minutes, and everybody and their mum was making similar games there for a while. The only one I've actually played, a clone that is, don't judge me for this, Hollow Cure, was the one that I played. It's the VTuber game. It's actually a lot of fun. It's very high quality, and to top it off, it's free! The essentials are, run around, kill enemy for XP, level up, pick new ability, kill more enemy, rinse and repeat. A lot of the games also include a sort of permanent upgrade system using the currency you find in the levels for a sort of passive boost, like 6% movement speed! Woo! Oh yeah! In Vampire Survivors and other games like it, usually for each run you're stuck in one big level and have to survive for 20 minutes. Wedding Witch does something a little bit different, opting for a level-by-level sort of thing, with each one being something unique, but actually they're all pretty much the same, so why bother, really? The reason behind this setup being the potions you obtain. After each level, you get one. And here we are, level 1, with the mission here being to defeat a certain amount of enemies. So hit some ghouls, get some XP, upgrade your witch, grab some flowers for the bouquet for some extra bonuses. It's all pretty straightforward and understandable, even if you haven't played Vampire Survivors before. Now, unfortunately, the game doesn't have multiple characters or weapon combinations like Vampire Survivors, which quite honestly is one of the main draws of that game, but Wedding Witch makes up for that by having the big breast potion. Each, I want to say, build path has its own specialty, like big breasts specializing in explosion magic, for instance. But early on, I picked up a few area spells, so for this run, we'll be going with the hips potion. Oh my god. I have the exact same drink!
And I've got a drink too!
Big Bruce, get the hell out of here!
Oh, so guzzling cum is fine, but drinking piss, that's where you draw the line.
What?
Fucking double standards!
The second level up is a time challenge, essentially a mini Vampire Survivors level without the boss at the end. That's its own level. You unlock more spells based on what potions you take at the end of each stage, along with buffs to those specific types of spells, so the choice is pretty obvious when it comes to what builds you're gonna aim for, which is unfortunate because it leads to essentially just choosing one of 6 paths without much variance a lot of the time because the buffs are just that strong. But I suppose the game isn't meant to be played over and over again like the games it's taking inspiration from, so it's fine. You're mainly just there to choose one route and see the transformation at the end, so it sort of makes more sense to do it that way, I guess. Once you've played the game 6 times and seen all the forms, you're kind of done, so doing it like this makes each route different and stops you from only picking the strongest moves, because they're all strong when you have the right potions. Why am I looking into this so deeply? It's Booby Vampire Survivors. Oh, for crying out loud, I got another hips potion and she said it tasted fishy, just like... what, salmon? Cod? Octopus? Does octopus taste fishy? I don't know. It's not semen, right? Like, that's not... Next level up is a boss fight, although you get a minute or two to get your bearings before it comes crashing in. Jesus Christ, man. Swallow your spit! That's disgusting! Holy crap, is that slime Jesus? During this level, I was actually sort of having a rough go of it. I mean, that was until I finally looked down at the bottom right of my screen and for the first time ever, used the Wedding Witch special ability! But that was a little underwhelming. Another level down, another potion down the hatch. Oh, a special strong potion, is it? Ooh, my thighs are getting thicker and thicker.
Oh my god! What are we gonna do?
The next level is classified as an unsealing, something inject your mana, something watch out for the guardian nearby. This is just a timed level with an extra dude following you around that wants to kill you. It's round 2 and we're already off to a flying start. This feeling in my behind. Did I just grow a tail?
Oh my god, me too! Just on the front!
These things on my head, are these ears?
That's what these are? Pyro lizard, no thanks.
Eventually, without too much trouble, and after ingesting far too much, potion substance. Hey, at least Belle's drinking from the right kind of flask. You should have seen her back in the Wedding Witch prequel.
No, this is a volumetric flask. You wouldn't
Drink cum.
one of these.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Eventually, the Wedding Witch makes it all the way to the Succubus Queen's cave. What? Why did my body return to normal?
It's to save on animation costs. That's right, it's me, the succubus. How's it going?
Are you aware of just how many men it requires to produce the potions you've gobbled up?
Dude, it is so tough. Like, first I gotta go to gamersubs.gg, and then I gotta use code RADICAL for 10% off, and then I gotta put the water in the cup, and then I gotta add the gamersubs. It's a whole thing.
And here we go, baby! It's us against Grandma, the Succubus Queen, and she goes down like a bitch. I suppose we are playing on the default difficulty. Gee, I've heard of white girls, but this is ridiculous.
The witch defeats the succubus queen and completes the ultimate potion with the queen's help. And so, the long-awaited wedding day arrives.
Oh, just look at her all dolled up.
Now you might think that's it, but in fact, we're not even a quarter of the way through. We haven't seen any full transformations. And we need to see those behind me. Oh, yeah, sure, I mean, like, there's not that much, like, there's no nudity in the game. Like, as far as that goes, this is tamer than Stellar Blade.
Far less spicy than what the trailer would have you believe. It's censored for the surprise factor, not the nipplage, for which there is none, my friends.
Damn it!
You might think that she's reaching out for a hug, but in reality, she's just telling you about her amazing catch last weekend.
That's what she was talking about!
We're already onto hard mode, and as you might be able to guess, it's harder, but don't fret, for as the game gets harder, so do you. The higher difficulties make it much easier to finish a transformation due to adding more levels on the path to the Succubus Queen and giving you a higher chance to see those double potency potions we stumbled across before. Of course, this is offset by, obvious as it is, the harder stages, meaning there's more enemies to fight. Is that fucking Geo, dude? Now look out for the Patrick Star and Oogie Boogie love child. He's the suicide bomber of Wedding Witch. Ooh, my chest is getting so big it's a little tough to breathe.
Ooh, you're telling me, sister. 5 minutes at the gym, what about you? Oh, right, guzzling cum.
Now, unfortunately, I didn't get super lucky on the last few levels, so I didn't max out my melon meter, meaning we're in for another normal ending, unfortunately. But hey, you still get gold for upgrades upon winning the run, and thankfully completing one, even on hard mode, still isn't all that difficult. Next playthrough didn't go so well either. However, I did beat that one actually. Yet again though, no transformation, but on extreme mode, surely that'll be the one. I wonder what differentiates this mode from hard mode. Oh, I see. The extremely bad programming. I deserve that. Death's so nice, I tried it twice. This one was the winner. Everything was planned out. It upgraded my ability to see what potions were up ahead, and 3 beastly potions in a row. I'd be stupid not to take them. Funnily enough, it was the run I thought was dead from the get-go that ended up being the winner. Game kept giving me the equivalent to a garage sale, just random potions up in the wazoo to the point I ended up with 3 separate sets, but I muscled on. Literally. Couple of lucky double muscle potions later and blammo! Muscle... Which, my whole body is full of energy. I can't wait to meet him and release it all. Now, Muscle Witch is all about melee attacks, as you might expect. Holy crap, right! Big area of effect attacks like earthquakes, saw blades, boomerangs. More Australian than witchy if you think about it. But hey, it managed to get me through many minutes of nail-biting sliver of health gameplay, so who am I to complain? Also gave her cat ears. Succubus Queen wasn't too hard to deal with either, even with the necessity to get in close with the saw blades. I was kind of running away the whole time, which kind of put a damper on things. I don't know why I was doing that. But that, of course, leads into the wedding. Nice. Now, technically, I could end the video there, but I thought of something delightfully devilish while recording. I figured I could let my Discord server choose which potion parts that they would like to see in this very video. Now, we've got muscly potion, big beans potion, small beans potion, big hips potion, catgirl potion, and of course, one which I have not mentioned yet, the succubus potion. So, which one do you think was the most popular? I mean, just off the top of your head. Me personally, I was surprised. Yeah, the results. So let's get it. Coming in dead last, not unexpectedly, was small breasts. Again, not exactly a big surprise. However, I wonder if the placement would have changed if they knew that small breast in this game actually meant regularly sized breasts. Yes, apparently that is small, at least according to Belle the Wedding Witch. Which, I mean, yes, if you're lugging around melons from Jack and Jill's farm from Shrek 2 for PS2, I can understand that these are small in comparison. Second last was muscly, which... I mean, first of all, how dare you? Slightly above muscly was succubus. It's a bit of a vague term, so I can understand going for something a little bit safer, something you know a little bit more about, which is why Big Broasts easily surpassed it. Like, yeah, this one's obvious. Of course it was gonna get super far. But not quite as far as Catgirl, who ended up second on the poll. Like, well, duh, I mean, this was always a contender for first place. And we've got Final Fantasy XIV players on the server too, and, you know, what do you think the most popular race is there, huh? Then at number 1 on the poll was, of course, the wide hips option, which I was surprised by. It floored the others, not even a competition. But it wasn't the most picked option. That goes to men. Now, unfortunately, that's not an option in the game unless there's some sort of penis potion that I don't know about, so wide hips will just have to do there. And now, originally, I was going to only do the top 3 results on the Discord poll, but then I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I did like a tier list? Like, nothing to do with set appearances of the Wedding Witch, but more so to do with just how strong each of the, you know, the classes are. So let's start with our girl Muscles. Honestly, we just kind of need a baseline to go off of, so Muscles is going in B tier and we'll work around that. Of course, that's all I can put in the list for now because we haven't actually finished any of the other transformations, so back into extreme mode we go and aiming for hips. Where the hell are the hips potions? Now that's more like it, hips ahoy! Now if you're a smart cookie, you'll remember I mentioned earlier that the hips potions are good for area magic spells which tend to affect multiple foes at once, usually in a big circle. We've got tornadoes, falling stars, Wedding Witch's BO circling around her, don't get too close now. These all work pretty good alone, but combine them with the big breast potion upgrade, attack radius up, and suddenly the Wedding Witch BO sphere of influence starts growing to a ridiculous degree. So yes, while there aren't really a lot of good options for someone wanting a ton of variety in their builds, there are a couple of different ways to upgrade the set of skills your particular potion line has. Like I said, Big Broasts has radius up, Beastly Potion has movement speed up, Hips has spells stay on the map for longer, and, you know, so on and so forth. Although some definitely are better than others, I found myself favoring the odd big... you know, the one, the large chest option, when I couldn't get the potion I was going for, because, you know, bigger spells are always helpful no matter what you're running, really. And that's the last hips potion needed. Here we go!
what I was hoping for.
I wonder if it's okay to get this big. What if he doesn't like it? Actually, I don't really mind the big segments. And now that we've fully upgraded hips, it's time to put it on the tier list. While fighting the succubus queen, it sort of felt like the same damage output as muscles, but whether it was because hips' big AoE blasts were keeping the majority of enemies at bay, or I just got better as I played, it was a bit of an easier time, so hips is going in A.
Her ass is so fat. Nope, you're not seeing this one, sorry. As I said, there's no real nudity in the game, but there are just some places that YouTube monetization won't stretch.
So, with muscles in B and hips in A, what's next on the agenda for our sweet and succulent bedding witch? Why are they so huge? I only drank one potion! The beastly potion is a really interesting one. Instead of putting the power in Wedding Witch herself, instead you summon multiple familiars to do the dirty work for you. You've got wolves, crows, cats, lizards.
Now that's what I call
Fucking garbage.
It's just the way the familiars work. Barely any AoE, and half the time they don't bother targeting the boss you're fighting, meaning most of your experience is just stuck running away from the enemies while you're already half dead and your wolves are off God knows where, probably wolf jobbing the bastards.
Nope, not happening, sorry.
Why the heck is the audio positioning based on Wedding Witch herself? Check it out, facing downwards with Belt's right ear towards the Guardian. And the sound effects are in your and my right ear too. Then the adverse. It's a game that really makes you feel like Wedding Witch. I've been going for big bazongas this time around, and I don't want to let down the Discord after all. Alright. Well, I mean, I suppose the extra attack speed won't hurt. Oh! My chest feels somewhat empty.
Whoa, you've got Scalar and Shrek 2 for PS2? Oh my god, thank you so much. Okay, now put those away, you're gonna make somebody uncomfortable.
Now the large sack potions specialize in explosion magic, and by golly, it works. Look at that succubus health bar drop faster than me after jogging 4 meters. Easy S rank right here, although it might have also something to do with the flowers that I picked up along the way. One of them was to fire a bomb with every swing of the bouquet. I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't look like one bomb to me. But the big thing, which probably wasn't supposed to happen, is the thing with the snowflower. It says, dealing a critical hit with the bouquet freezes the enemy. And with normally Belle having a very low chance to crit, this seems pretty balanced, maybe even weak, but what the text should be saying is, dealing damage with the bouquet freezes all enemies it hits, and any frozen enemy is always crit. Turns out, the kind of crappy item is one of the most busted ass things in the game, right after Wedding Witch's own busted ass. So while it could be that I had a much easier time with big ol' Moo Moo Milker's Wrap because of this flower, it's still staying in S because I can't be screwed playing the game again. I'm nearly 10 hours of pure Wedding Witch gameplay in, for Pete's sake. People are gonna think I'm weird. Case in point.
Funnily enough, this ending's one of the more tame ones. Mostly because she's not got her coochie front and center.
Only 2 potion paths left. Let's go itty bitty titty first. Projectiles is what it specializes in, and holy moly, are you seeing this? Instant S plus, no doubt about it. Again though, I just want to point out how these are only small in comparison to the ginormous gunkulons Wedding Witch is normally carrying around. Like, god, her back's gotta look more torn up than a crash victim. Now, I actually managed to sneak the snowflower in on this run as well, but who cares? Yeah, go S plus, no backsies, okay? Last, but definitely not least, is the final potion. Corruption, or succubus traits if you want to make it easier to understand. There's a little bit of everything here. Lasers, bats, tickling Shrek's prostate, it's all here and it's all very, very strong. Wedding Witch herself becomes a little unhinged, but I suppose that's the trade-off when you want to get with the big green beefcake. Now here's an interesting little thing. I managed to get 2 potion lines to the max in this run. I was wondering what would happen, or even if it was possible, but it turns out that it is. And now we finally get to see what happens when you combine 2 transformations. With my hopes and dreams crushed spectacularly, I moved on to the succubus queen. Holy smokes. I don't even have any busted flowers this time. Easy. Easy S plus right here, folks. And with that, it leaves the final standings as Corruption, alongside the amazing Washboard up the top in S plus, Brokeback Mountain in S, Discord's favorite in A, Knuckles' sister in B, and Catgirl in the trash where it belongs.
I hope my parents don't watch this one.